All right, so keeping up with my theme of nature, I'm at another local park here in the city. Actually, I've never been to this one, but I thought I'd check it out today. Sitting here, I'm the only person out here, so I mean, it is 103 heat index today, so that's probably why. But I'm in the shade, so I'm pretty cool. But anyway, this video is in response to some of the comments saying how I say cons can't get along, and how some of you guys want to know the history and the rivalry between the con factions. Before we get into that, I figured I'd go over my own personal history with this game. I didn't start off in Mayhem Attack Squad or Synergy. For those of you who don't know, those were the two top con teams back in the day, in the early stages of this game. I grew up in Xyle family. I was a member of Xyle Ohana. I was actually in a leadership position there as well, which, just as a side note, I find it really hilarious and ironic that I keep ending up in a team with the name Xyle in it. I think I'm on my third tour of duty in Scorchem Xyle right now, and I'm not really sure why that is, but might have something to do with the commander there. Don't know, but anyway, this kind of be foreshadowing, the rest of this video. Like any big family, there's going to be disagreements, and one of the biggest issues we had in Xyle Ohana was the fact that we wanted to have Xyle adapt the same model that Scorch became based upon. We saw what was going on over there, and we were like, well, we want the same thing for Xyle. I mean, it seemed the way the game was going, it seemed like a great direction, and the rewards were going to be a lot better doing it that way. It kept getting shot down, and eventually my buddies and I in Ohana were just kind of like, you know what? Fuck it. We're out. And we made our own group. It was only about 20 of us that were there. We splintered off from Xyle. That were strictly war focused. We were kind of using this as kind of like a test run because we kind of wanted to join Scorched at this point anyway. So we were kind of using this as a test run and prepare us for the environment. And I think we did that for about 2 or 3 months before we all made the jump over to Scorched. I grew up with guys like Spanky Bottom and Reaper. Those were guys that were in my original crew. So the actual formation of Scorch occurred. Now, forgive me, I know I'm giving a history lesson, but to be honest, my memory's a little fuzzy at this point. But as I said before, Mayhem Attack Squad and Synergy were the two top con teams in this game. To my knowledge, there was already some type of talks going on, from what I recall, but really what got the ball rolling on that was that there was a leaderboard event. I believe it was a lockdown leaderboard, if I'm not mistaken. And once again, don't shoot me if I get history wrong. Just chew me out in the comments. I believe it was Mayhem Attack Squad that finished 6th at leaderboard, because normally both of those two teams finished in the top 5. And basically, the family leads got together and they laid out the foundation and the model to what Scorch became and is to this day. And once again, like with any type of family setting and group setting in this game, there's going to be disagreements. And those who didn't go along with it, they formed or created what became Darkness Family and the DJD. That's what we got as a result of that. And that's really where the bad blood started and continues from to this day in a lot of respects. Right then and there. I mean, the DJD, they did their thing for a while. I know that family's not exactly the same in terms of power, but they're still doing their thing and they've had a lot of success, so props to them. And then, of course, we had our own issues in Scorched where we had some guys, I believe it was almost a couple of years ago now, where guys broke away from Scorched and made their own particular family, and that became the Horde, and they have several tiers of their own as well. So that's kind of where we're at now in the state of the game. We're at the stage of where those are like the top 3 families on the con side. And they all have a very unique an odd dynamic relationship with each other, because they all pretty much originated from, they almost all of them had the original origin point. So that's where we're at right now in terms of the state of the game. What really I wanted to touch upon was the fact that we're getting at a stage in this game where things are starting to slow down. I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but I think this game maybe has a year or two left, maybe at tops. And people ask me, you know, why cons can't get along. I mean, you look at the statistics across the board. Space Ape says that we're outnumbered 4-1. I think that's horseshit. I think we're outnumbered more like 8 or 9-1 in terms of player ratio between Autobots and Decepticons. When we have these types of disagreements and battle of the egos amongst our con teams, and new things are formed and splintered off, we don't have nobody, not Scorch, not Darkness Fam, not the Horde. We don't have the same type of resource capability as they do on the Autobot side to recuperate that. We never have, and we never will. And when we lose players, when we continuously lose players due to new features, it never fails. Every time there's a new HQ level released or there's a huge Prime League change, players rage quit and retire. And that just hurts the con side more so than more so than the Autobot side, and hurts us even more. I mean, some of these Autobot teams, their 6-tier team can go toe-to-toe with a 4th or 3rd tier Scorch team, simply due to the sheer numbers. And I don't know if everybody really truly grasps, but eventually this is just going to be an autos versus autos game. If the current rate is going at the way that it is. And basically it's kind of trying to circle back around at this point. It kind of, what's the title of this video is going to be is Pride, Ego, and Jealousy. And that's really what it boils down to between the three teams, three big families on the con side, as far as to why they don't work together. And I don't really think it's a systemic issue for all three families. It could be because, listen, we put out our own propaganda too, as far as why this family sucks and why we're better. I mean, every family does that, so let's just get that out of the way right here at the moment. But I don't think there's people in Scorch that wake up going, God, I hate those fuckers over there. And same thing for the other teams. I don't think there's dudes in the Horde or DJD that wake up and go, God, I hate Scorch. Really, it's an issue that is amongst the family leaders of all three of those teams, and hanging on to things that have occurred years ago when we should be looking to dynamics and opportunities to mend those relationships. Now, like I said, I'm not trying to shit on anybody here by saying that, you know, I used to be a family leader and I love all those guys and everything that they do for this family. But if we really want to have success for the con community and we all want to work together, what's going to have to happen is that the family leaders of all three families are going to have to let that stuff go. And that's easier said than done. Like, a crowning achievement right now would be to get all family leads from all those teams into a group chat room. Just getting them to that point would be like a groundbreaking thing. It's a whole nother damn ball game if you can actually get them into that conversation without bringing in pre-existing old grudges into the conversation. That's going to be a whole different story and everything else. Now, granted, there are some things that have transpired over the course of this game that might be considered unforgivable. I'm not really sure, you know, how to respond to that or what might help with that. Hopefully this video does. Might be nice to have somebody that's in person, kind of like a Zoom call type thing. I believe somebody suggested that, one of my boys in family leadership, as far as mending relationships. I would also be more than willing to be a moderator for something like that. if that's something that was so desired. I mean, listen, I know I'm a Scorch ride or die guy. I mean, that's pretty brutally obvious at this point. But I'm also well known in the con community for a lot of players. I mean, I have a huge ass following apparently, so everybody knows who I am. People that I have no clue who they are, they know who I am. So for me, I just think it's time that we kind of came to our senses and used some sensibility about what the positioning of the con families are in this day and age. Now, how would we go about doing it and what would be discussed, that's a story for a different time. But those are just kind of my thoughts on what could be done in the future or what, we might have laid out. That's also a little bit of a brief history lesson of how things came to be. I really wasn't going to go into specifics as far as like specific incidents or really specific names in this video, because I really didn't want to, even if it was truth, which I always do tell the truth, I didn't want to incite any drama or anybody getting feelings but hurt or anything like that. I didn't want to get into all that. I just do this stuff for fun. As a part-time player now and a retired family leader, I just like offering my perspective on things for you guys, give you guys more insight into my playing career or how it's gone so far. So that's really what this channel is about. I have no intention in engaging in a blood feud with Horde or the DJD. I don't want to do a back and forth on Discord. I don't want to do I don't even have Discord anymore. I have my line notifications turned off half the time. I have to actually physically go into line to actually see what's going on. I'm not here for that anymore. I just want to make dick and fart jokes and play the game on when I can. That's it. So anyway, just kind of wrapping up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. My next there'll probably be three videos total that'll drop today. It'll be this video, an ability 11 showcasing later, as well as some of my Z grinding energon tips that I have. But thank you all for listening. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it and appreciate all the support that the channel is getting so far. Like I said, I just do this when I can. I don't always have a whole lot of free time. A lot of you guys know I'm really into my weightlifting stuff, and I'm getting, kind of an amateur bodybuilder. So if you do want to check that out, I do my Instagram a little bit more than I do this. I'll put a note in the description after I get finished with this, but it's Mad King 1984. That's where I do all my weightlifting stuff. If you're interested in something like that. But anyway, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for listening. For all my Scorch players, keep doing what you do for the family. And this is Vic signing out.